What's up, YouTube? Your boys back at it, Wise Guys channel. Back with episode number, I don't know how many episodes. There's a whole bunch of them shits though. But hey, we got one for you. Go ahead.
I'm gonna guess 10.
10? That's a nice round number. I like whole round numbers. That's what's up. All right. Yeah, so thank y'all who've been tuning in for this whole journey. We got one that's gonna resonate with a lot of people. A lot of subject matters being made around it, so we just feel like we should share our perspective on it. Saying, as y'all know, the Daunte Wright situation. Anything you guys saying before we get rolling?
Absolutely. Want to appreciate y'all for locking in with us. Please, if you have not, subscribe, comment, like, dislike, hit that bell notification. What up, B Smith? But yeah, we want to make sure y'all keep rocking with us so we can keep on doing this thing. Appreciate y'all.
There you go. All right, so we're gonna go into the video, and it's gonna show. We're gonna show most of it, not the whole thing. We're not gonna bore you to death, and then just share our perspective, and we're gonna rock it like that. There. All right.
My boy Early.
Here we go.
All right. News today? No.
Hey, what's up with the technical difficulties of this mug?
It's all good.
Can see it?
We can see it.
All right, let's let it rock. Oh, there we go. All right, so you see the brothers pulled over. Getting handcuffed.
Warning, this will be graphic. Just for y'all. Before it gets there, this will be graphic. Where's the volume? That's important.
As I watched the video and listened to the officer's commands, it is my belief that the officer had the intention to deploy their taser, but instead shot Mr.
Okay. So as we saw, what just went on right there, I'll defer to you. What you got so far, man?
Right. So it's important to note that y'all wasn't able to hear, but the lady, when he was struggling to get back in the car, she was saying that I'm going to tase you, and she went through, I guess, what protocol is to say taser, taser, taser. And then she shot. From what the guy was saying that we cut off, he was saying that is protocol, but your gun is on your dominant hand, on your dominant side, and your taser is on the opposite side, and that's trained for a reason. For some reason, she reached for her dominant side and pulled out her gun, but by her reaction, you could tell that she was surprised that she shot him. But I don't have a taser. I have guns. I don't have a taser, so I don't know if it's a difference, or if you're in the moment, like, you don't know the difference. But for some reason, she didn't know it was her gun, and she shot. That's just setting the parameters so everybody know what was said and what was going on and what happened. He was about to go to jail for warrant, is what they say. And I think he asked, and they told him, you're going to jail for a warrant. And then he decided to hop back in the car and pull off. So that's what I got. I just wanted to make sure everybody knew what was going on.
Okay, yeah. And so I'm not sure what cop protocols in a situation like this. What I just see is a person, when you make them have to make a split decision. You got arrested. You knew what was about to happen, and you chose to put that officer in. And I said this in the video I made 2 days ago on our channel. You put in a person who's probably not the best trained, as it were. You put them to make a quick decision. And I said, if you want to challenge the police, if you want to do these things that you feel is right, you got to be ready to lose your life for that. And I said this before this even happened. So now this happened, it just plays right into what I said. And I was talking about the Army lieutenant, right? So when you do these things, when you choose to not follow commands, you are jeopardizing your life, man. And y'all got to understand this. And I know people are protesting right now, but as you saw in the video, man, when you knew you was about to go down for a warrant, you chose to try to leave the scene, which was only going to lead to worse. They got you all your stuff. Like, it's going to be a hot pursuit. So, yeah, and how old was the brother? Like 19 or something like that?
I think he said he was 20, 21, something like that.
Yeah. So yeah, so it's unfortunate on all levels, but guys, this is the stuff that's going to cost you your life. When you make poor decisions like this and you put someone who has the latitude to end your life, you can't come back from that. He made his choice. And I do want to say that, as we move forward.
Right.
So what up, G? What up, G?
Yeah, what up, bro? No, I agree. I think that though it's a sad situation, it was warranted. You could die from getting tasered. You know what I'm saying? So even if she did pull that out, you made her make that decision. And that's where we have to take accountability for the situation. I see a lot of people talking about, well, we shouldn't have to fear for our life when we get pulled over. And yeah, we could talk about what shouldn't be, but the reality is the reality, and we have to live in that space. And we can't do anything about what it should be until we handle what is. And what is you were being detained for whatever reason. Even if you were not guilty, that would play out, and then you could do whatever you need to do about that after the fact. But to say, you know what, I'm not going to adhere to authority. I'm gonna do what I want to do. That's not how authority works. It's no way in hell I'm gonna tell my kid, because I'm their authority, figure. I'm gonna tell him to do something or tell her to do something, tell them to do anything, and they say, you know what? Nah, I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna do what I want to do. Nah, you're gonna pay for that. Now, it's not the cop's job to say you're gonna pay for not doing what I tell you to do. But when you jumping in a car, they don't know why you jumping in the car. You must be crazy because I got you almost handcuffed. You jumping in the car. I don't know if you jumping to go grab something. I don't know if you trying to get something to shoot me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what you're trying to do. Like, I have to protect myself first because self-preservation is number one thing. I don't know what you're going to do. You got to go before I go. And this is my job. Like, you're a criminal and proven to be so. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not victim shaming as far as, well, it's his fault. That's his fault for putting himself in that position. Yep. I can't say it anymore. I can't say it any different. That's his fault. I don't want to lead people to believe that it's not, because that's clearly his fault. He could have chose different. He would have went to jail. He probably would have got out. That he would still be living. Like, you can't think that. You can't think like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't act in such a manner to where you about to lose your life. And that's with anything. You have to have respect, just general respect. I can't run up on you. If I didn't know you, I can't run up on you and just go crazy and think that I'm gonna walk away. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what you gonna do, who you are, anything. You know what I'm saying? And what kind of day you had. That type of thing all plays in every situation. And that lady, she wasn't trying to shoot him. Well, unless she was a really good actor, which she could be. Some people are. But from her reaction when she shot him, she's like, oh, shit, I shot him. And it didn't seem like she was genuinely trying to shoot him, but she shot him. He died. The main point we trying to make is he shouldn't have been in that situation where we even got there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, here's the thing, man. Irrational actions do not lead to rational results. So when you take away, and this is shit we got to start teaching our offspring, man, our youth, that you got to maintain your head at all times. So when you do reckless things, man, reckless things happen to you. Understand that in life, and all of us who are, old enough to be past 30 years old, we've only seen this to be true.
Yeah.
We understand it. You're reckless. You leave yourself open to some reckless shit to happen to you. So when we start teaching more prudence for our youngsters, it's like, listen, just eat the charges. You go, you live. He decided to take it to his own hands where you have no leverage. You have no power. So, and when he made that decision to jerk away, like Sammy was saying, you took away, you basically made the cops to make a judgment call. And you were moving so quick. I can see that's a normal human thing. You reached the wrong way because you're just trying to subdue the dude. Right? So was she right for pulling the wrong weapon to Brandon's point? No. I mean, yeah, she fucked up. But her fuck up has her alive and the law is on her favor. His fuck up cost him his life. So you got to understand where you have leverage at and where you don't, because you're going to end up like that brother right there. And you don't want people to march for you, and all that shit is cool. All that shit's cool. But you're no longer alive anymore. She is. You put yourself in that position. And I wanted to address one that you said different color. I get it, man, but in the moment that gets jaded. Right. There was no threat to just charge her weapon. I vehemently disagree with that. Once you jerked off and went into your car, you understand what I'm saying? You posed a unknown threat. So you have to be subdued at that point, because a normal arrest situation, you decided to jerk away from it and try to escape the scene. Or I've seen a case where this black woman, she jerked away from the cop, went in the car and got a gun, and he killed her because she was in a stolen car from a boyfriend who was a felon. So cops don't know that shit, bro. When you decide to take the law into your own hands, you are responsible for your actions, man. And so that's what I want to address. Sam, you got anything on those 2 points?
No, I just agree. I think that you hit it on the head. You can't not adhere to authority. You don't change shit from the bottom. And I think they are protesting. Have you seen protests?
I think I did.
Okay. But for what? What are we protesting for? Because she chose the wrong weapon? Is that what it's about?
I'll tell you what we're doing. It's just something in our community. This shit needs to be said. Yeah. We excuse clown shit too much. We don't let people understand that there's right ways to do things, there's wrong ways to do things, there's reckless ways to do things, and there's righteous ways to do things. We just teach, hey, man, everybody just supposed to just adjust to you. No, that's not how the world works. There's such thing called order, and we don't teach that enough in our community.
Yep. No, I agree. And I can't. Being an empathetic person, I can't not feel for him. The man lost.
Agreed.
All right, but on the other end, I can't excuse it either. You know what I'm saying? I can't excuse the fact that he made the wrong choice. Now, is it because he was 19, 20 years old and wasn't taught any better? Like, we could talk about that and whose fault that may be, but at the end of the day, you're responsible for your own choices. You know what I'm saying? And he made the wrong one. She made the wrong one, but like you said, she got the law on her side. Anybody can see that he caused that confrontation. He caused the conflict in the situation, and she reacted. And she reacted with the wrong tool. But say the defense would love y'all on the jury. Yeah, bro. Like, I mean, what do you say about that? What can you say? You know what I'm saying? Like, what would you sue for? The fact that she chose the wrong weapon? Like, what would be the case of wrongful death? Because he wasn't shot in the back. It ain't like he was running and they shot him in the back, which is against the law. It's more so this man jumped. They 2 feet away from him. He jumped in the car, and I don't know where y'all keep y'all guns, but mine is under the seat right here on the side and the door. Like, he jumping in. They don't know what he doing. At that point, I know y'all know. I know you know. I don't know when the last time you've been in a situation where your senses were heightened and it was like I gotta do something, or I might die. That adrenaline you feel at that moment, where it might be you or them, like, hey man, that's just what it is, and I'm gonna make sure it's you and not me. So I can see her making that mistake of choosing the wrong, even if she's not I guess, the best trained, like Cliff alluded to earlier, which most of them are not. I can see her choosing the wrong weapon to try to preserve her life, and she was going through the taser. I'm gonna tase you, that type shit. So I don't know. Maybe she had it all planned, but how can she plan it? Like she can't plan him being right there with his hands behind his back and then saying, "Fuck this, I'm leaving." Like, no, man, you can't plan that.
I'm playing it.
But go ahead, you got it.
All right, so B. Smith says this cannot be his fault to lose his life for being shot for a warrant that was not a violent crime. Those things have to be included in the mind frame of the public officer. I couldn't disagree with you more. When I understand the original thing for nonviolent crime, that is correct. Well, okay, so I can agree with that part. That part is correct.
Yeah.
But when you mitigate things by you kind of exacerbating it by you are making them make a judgment call, that part's out the window now because you're posing a new potential threat by your actions. So now if he just got pulled over, he just was in his car chilling, nothing, and she just for whatever reason panic and start dumping on him, that's different. But when you jerk off, you're making people quick think and you're endangering yourself. So let's just say he got in his car and the cops ran him off the road and he hit a pole and died. I think people will be protesting the same goddamn way. They're like, well, cops should have known the proper way to hit him with the car. So my point I'm making is, you know what I'm saying? That's what you guys are going to do infallibly. So the point is, when you put yourself in these positions, you are increasing the chance of something happening to you that you were not ready for. And you got to understand, man. So we cannot be promoting being reckless and think that's going to lead to fruitful results. That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely. I got a question too. Hold on. He simply panicked. That's completely normal as well. No,
sir. Jerking away from police, hell no, bro.
Bro, I've been in his same situation. I've been to jail 11 times for the same. I don't know what his warrant was for. Mine was because I ain't go to court for traffic tickets. I ain't never did nothing, like that. But I've been to jail in holding cells 11 times when I was younger, around that same age. I was between 18 and 21, 11 times because of warrants. Not once did I ever panic and say, fuck this, I'm not going today. Like, no, I knew I was wrong. I knew I didn't go to court. I knew I couldn't pay those tickets. I knew that I had warrants. I knew I wasn't supposed to get caught. I knew when I got caught, I was going to jail and I was going to bond out, and the same cycle was probably going to happen because I was broke in college and shit like that. So I never once panicked and said, you know what, I ain't going. I'm these handcuffs too tight, and they have been too tight. I just told them, hey man, this shit tight, and they either gonna loosen it up or they gonna not loosen it up. But you're going to jail. You're you're a prisoner at that moment. You don't really have any say in what happens. You broke the law and you're going to jail. You don't have the right to panic and do what you want to do at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to understand that. And I think that we give ourselves too many passes to make foolish mistakes like that. Like, you cannot. And I got this question. I was going to ask you this when I thought about it earlier, because I was like, man, what's the shit that I would die for? Like, would you die? What would you die for? You, Cliff, like what is it that you would die for? Like, hands down.
Something that I had a vested interest in. So, like, my wife, my kids,
right?
Extremely close family member.
Right. What about respect? Like, what about you?
No, not in that sense. Now, respect from on the street level, fight or flight, and the shit need to get handled right there. Yeah, that's different. But for respect from a cop who has the law on their side, fuck no, at no point.
Right. Well,
I'm not gonna win that battle. Go ahead.
I even thought about it in the terms of respect on the street level. So, say it's some Debo ass nigga, and with this weird energy that just want to fuck with people today, and they disrespecting you. You know what I'm saying? This nigga, he's 6'7" too. Like, he same size as you, and he like, fuck you, nigga. Like, you got me fucked up. I'm gonna mess you up today.
I get where you're going. Okay.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like, is that an instance where you be like,
no, I'll let him be a clown. Nope.
Right. So what's your move when he tries to take off on you? Like what do you do?
Well, if he take off on me, that's different because then it's exacerbated. He could talk all day. Like I don't think that would affect me.
Right.
I mean, I'm gonna defend myself. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, but he just talking shit. That's not enough to rile me up. That's not enough to turn something into some real shit. To something that is going to have an adverse effect after a street altercation. And in most cases, most people don't get teed off on unless you re-engage the person back. In most cases, not saying all.
Right.
So yeah. So no, I'm not willing to die over that street level of respect. To your point, no.
Okay. So I think it was until today where I thought about that, and I was like, because up until today, I was like, "Fuck that! You got me fucked up," But
that is how you are. Yep.
Yeah.
that is definitely you.
Yeah, that's me. Until today, I was like, you know what? It makes no sense to die for some stupid shit like that. Like our whole goal is to live as long as we can, since we know we got to die anyway. And I can't see myself with having so much to lose, dying over something so stupid, selfish. I don't think that. And when I asked you, like, if he's trying to engage you, what would you do? I think that if somebody was doing that, you let them talk. You don't let nobody try to harm you because fuck that. But it's ways to get around it. Even if you got to walk away from it and, he's still talking, that type thing, you just got to get away from it. It seems to be the cowardly thing to do, but it's the smart thing to do. Like the number one goal is to fucking stay alive, and if you got to do that by walking away from somebody that's telling you they gonna whoop your ass and you a hoe and all that type of stuff, just trying to do anything to get you engaged in the situation, then that's what you got to do. You got to look at the ultimate goal and engaging in that type of thing. And I'm telling y'all this because this is something that I would, without a second thought, engage in. I'm like, nigga, what? Like, that's just how I operate. Like, you're not about to disrespect me. But until today, when I saw him do this, and I thought about it, I was like, what would you die for? Would you die for disrespect now? He was like, hell no.
No.
Wife and kids. And not even my kids if they doing some stupid shit. Like if they getting caught in some stupid shit, some stuff I taught them, like when they 18, 19, they just caught up, I'm not finna go die for them. Like I told your little ass, and I got other kids to worry about. Sorry, it happened. This is where you learn. I'm not even gonna die for that.
That's your choice. You made that choice.
So it's just good to kind of think about it and be like, damn, shit is not really worth it. You know what I'm saying? And I know when we was younger, we be ready to go. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
But to that point, maybe that's where he's at. He's at 19, 20 years old where he just don't give a shit. He ain't got much to lose. He's like, fuck these cops. I'm gone. And
he has something to lose.
Right. So, and he lost it. So
yeah, so I'm gonna get to a few of these comments, and I want to share this story, and this is gonna hit it in the head about thinking shit through. I know you've been arrested as many times. You said I've been handcuffed twice and been threatened to be killed by a cop once over a noise complaint. I tell this story all the time, and my boy Greg Rose, my homeboy Harold Franklin, they all can verify this story. This happened in Jersey Village, which is again an affluent area of Houston. At my apartment I was at the time, the 2010, I believe, the year, and we was all outside, and the cops came over a noise complaint that happened way before we was outside. So they come in with two Tahoes, guns drawn, get on the fucking ground, and blah 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 blah. Well, they weren't shooting, but they were talking while they had their weapons pointed. So I knew, like to your point, I knew I had a damn speeding ticket warrant. So I could have exasperated this story by like, man, you know what? Fuck this. I ain't about to go to jail. These racist ass cops. I could get up and ran. And I would have made one of them cops make a quick decision just like that dude. Because I'd be lying to say it didn't cross my mind to get up and run.
Yeah.
It crossed my mind to go run. I was like, what? I'm in trouble for what? And I'm about to. And the police officer actually ran my shit. And he's like, hey, man, you got a warrant, right? I was like, yeah, I'm going to take care of it, though. And he let me go. But I could have made that same decision being scared in the moment. I was like 25 at the time, I believe, something like that. So I don't want to hear the excuse that you panic, because you still have a choice. You still have a choice. And I literally was in that position before with a gun. Because I remember the cop said to me, he said the old 90s ass cowboy shit. He was like, shut the fuck up if I bust a cap in your ass, is what he said. I was like, who talks like that? Like a 90s cop movie. So I can speak on this topic with a little more of applied knowledge than just idealism. So I'm not going to absolve him for that, man. I'm not going to absolve him from that. I'm sorry. You got a choice in most cases, this one being one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to address a few of David's comments.
Okay.
You can go first if you want to. Dave said he just watched it. She didn't plan it, but it doesn't shake the fact that police are overwhelmingly doing a bad job, and it's been seen.
You gonna address that?
Yeah. So you're not lying. Police are doing a bad job, and I don't know if this. I made a live 2 days ago on the channel. Y'all go back and look. I was talking about how uneducated a lot of cops are in masses, and you got basically kids with guns who have the latitude to end your life. So what I'm saying is, you educate your kids to let them understand that, listen, man, you're not dealing with the most upstanding, most educated group of people. And I, even more so, my education was in criminal justice. That's what I got my degree in. I know a lot of cops who I took classes with. And I kind of laugh and just like, damn, they trusting you to defend people's lives. I was like, shit. You know what I'm saying? So much so, one of my classmates, he's a little scrawny motherfucker, and I'll leave his name out of this, but he became a cop in Prairie View a little bit after we all graduated. And he dude was so weak, man. Like for one of the years in homecoming, the kids had taken his cop car and they handcuffed him to like a pole or some shit like that, like some shit off a movie. You understand what I'm saying? So the fact that he was even a cop, I'm like, why is he a cop? And then when it happened to him, I was like, yeah, I can see that. I can see that. So what happens when a guy like that, next time he gets mad because ain't nobody gonna punk me like that and shit, shoot somebody? You understand what I'm saying? So you gotta understand the whole thing that goes around these things. And so yeah, of course, these are poorly trained cops, but that's who's out there. So it is more incumbent on you to understand what it's gonna take to be alive, knowing that to be true. Go ahead.
No, that's it. You said it. I think that so they are underpaid just like teachers are, so you're not going to get the best or the best quality of people to go take that job to risk their lives every day, and especially when they're underpaid. That's just not what it's going to be. That it makes no sense to do that. Mm-hmm. They are doing a bad job, but I don't think that she made a mistake. She made a mistake, but I feel like that's the reacting part. Like, we need to be proactive and not put them in a situation where they have to make that choice. Now, what's the situation where, Oscar Grant, right? He was just on the wall and in handcuffs and they shot him. I think that's what happened. So shit like that is inexcusable.
That's different. Yeah, that's different.
Right. That's not what this case was, and we can't let the situation be mixed like that. We can't think that they the same just because it's the same outcome. Another black man life is lost. It's not the same situation. It's not even close. This man, he pushed them to have to make a decision to where, hey, it's you and me. And you know what? I'm trying to put myself in the mind of a officer and put myself in their shoes. Like, what would you do? He about to get in the car, take off, and like you said, it's gonna be a high-speed chase because they not gonna just let him leave, and it was already 3 cops, so it's probably at least 2 cop cars, but maybe 3. He about to go on a chase. It's gonna be reckless. You put other people's lives in danger, and when you take all that into consideration, it's
like, think about that part.
Right. It's like, stop him now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to stop him now and to avoid all this other shit that could be possibly worse down the line. Would y'all feel better if he took off and killed 3-4 innocent people in a car crash because he was trying to get away? Shit.
And that happened in Dallas. They're street racing like a week ago.
With that girl.
Yeah. Other people got killed over reckless driving. So it happens, man. And she walks out scot free.
Right. That's ridiculous.
This shit happens, man.
That is ridiculous. So I don't think that I can't feel as bad as I want to feel for him. Only thing I feel bad is he lost his life, but he made that choice, and I want to say he had to live with it, but he had to die with it. He had to die with that choice, and it sucks. It really sucks. And I think the point of this video is to make sure that we don't make similar choices. That we don't let our kids be in this situation. Us as adults don't go down the same path. We got to make sure that that's the case. That's what I got.
All right, Dave says the officer has just resigned. Does that make sense? It does to me. Yeah, so that's called public pressure. I think that is going to be the linchpin for that move to happen. So you're facing public pressure from, again, the protesters. That's what they do. The facts don't matter. The intricacies don't matter. You teaching people prudence doesn't matter. It's just about you're upset because the optics is a black man got killed. And so, he probably don't want to deal with it. Now I'll look more into this case to have a more qualified opinion, but I mean, I know we are agreeing that it makes sense for different reasons. But that doesn't insinuate to me that there was malpractice that went on. So I'm not going with that.
Right.
Just I don't want to deal with it because you know where it's going to lead to. He's like, I ain't got to deal with this shit. That could be the case.
It's a woman too.
Oh, it's a woman. Oh, the woman, the one who resigned.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the optics. Yeah, man, you gonna get grilled, man.
Yeah. And her name is gonna be public. She gonna have to deal with that for the rest of her life. No matter what the details of the case are, she gonna be a white woman that shot a black unarmed man. That's what the headlines are. Another unarmed black man is shot.
Yeah.
Dead.
Yep.
Which is true, but when you go into why, it makes you feel a bit differently about it. Because I won't lie, I saw it and I was like, here we go with this shit again. And I know how it's gonna go. But I looked into it and I saw the video. I was like, no, you can't do that. You cannot do that and expect to live. If you do live, then you're lucky. But you got to expect to die with that type of, with those type of actions. So,
yep.
Her resigning makes sense. I know she was put on administrative leave when it happened, but her resigning, I wouldn't want to deal with that either.
Yep. All right. So G said, but seriously, in the situation, the kid had all the authority as instructed. He didn't comply and unfortunately met those consequences. Condoles to the family, but this was avoidable. This was highly avoidable, man. And we as grown men, grown women, we got to stop absolving responsible behavior from our kids. We got to teach our kids responsible behavior. And like, hey, and it's like it's a conversation you have. If you got something to deal with the cops, do what they ask you to do. We'll come get you. And that's that conversation, and you're done with it. I guarantee that conversation never happened. And I'm not saying that's the parents' fault per se. Excuse me. And this took place where? Chicago?
No, in Minnesota.
Oh, Minnesota. That's right. Yeah. That's right. So yeah, man, I mean, we got to understand that we got to front load our kids with like real life information, especially if they are, what we call a person of color, because, and I said this in the video, you're seen as a threat at a higher sense with these cops who don't look like you. And we gotta overstand shit, because if you don't overstand it, you will always be a victim of circumstance because you're acting emotionally. And we got to get out of that shit, because in our community, we think emotionality is going to overcome being prudent, being upright, giving knowledge and information and logic. And that is why, in my opinion, we are struggling so much as a collective, because we keep getting stagnated by shit that you can just use. How we said how cops are training their kids, training their force poorly. We're training our kids poorly too, as a collective. Right. So we got to understand that this is a derivative of a problem way beyond him too. You understand what I'm saying? So again, I told y'all, like the way I was raised, even me coming from the hood, like there's no way in my mind I would have ever ran from that situation. I would have thought it maybe, just some old crazy random thought, but there's nowhere in hell, because I try to think about it in game, even when I was a kid. I like, okay, even if I do, when I got handcuffed that time at the club, my boy Will was with me.
Mm-hmm.
If I would have, because I got arrested, I got handcuffed for recording somebody else getting arrested. This was 2009. This is 2008, rather. I was just coming back from overseas, hooping. And like I was about to get arrested for recording, because back then that shit was kind of new and police would like freak out when you tape them arresting somebody. So I could have just shook off that dude and ran that club parking lot. And we know that wasn't any good for me. It wasn't any good for me because I was unjustly being arrested for taking a picture of him arresting somebody else.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So like we got to understand, like it's still a choice you got to make, even though you've been done wrong in some capacity. It's still a choice. And if you make that choice, you got to live with the results, man.
Yep. That's the long and short of it. That's a good point. Got to reinforce that they have. You read that?
Say, point, it reinforced that they have the guns and power, but they aren't the best and brightest. Just like sometimes at a fast food work is kind of good or a teacher pretty bad. Yeah, I used to be a teacher. A lot of these teachers are horrible. They think they're good teachers, and they're terrible. They don't care about them damn kids, and a lot of kids give them reason not to. But yeah, man, it's the same shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, is that the last comment?
Now Kristen G says protesting and cancel culture are yielding the same results. That's why she did. There you go.
Yeah, man. So we in the middle of the George Floyd trial, third week now, on some shit that everybody saw him get killed. Like it's taken 3 weeks, and we're in the middle of that case. What we were protesting about last year, and the same thing has happened, right? Again, when we called it last year, what did that protesting get us? Like what we getting the same results a year later, over a year later. What did the protesting get us? That's my question to you.
Absolutely nothing. Say it again.
Man, I don't blame people that are emotionally charged in the moment, because you should be. As a human, you should feel something for another human losing his life in an unjust manner. But at some point we have to realize that our actions have to go beyond the street, just walking in the street. We got to understand that nothing is changed from the bottom. Like nowhere. Nothing has changed from the bottom. You're not about to go entry-level employee and go run the company. It's just not going to happen. So if you want change, if you want to make a difference, then we got to have an actual plan. And me and Cliff, I remember it like it was yesterday. It seems like it was. We were saying, what's the goddamn plan going to be? Because if it's not one, it's going to be the same shit over and over and over again. And that's where we at. We don't have a plan. Everybody was like, it's going to be different this time. Look at all these people endorsing it. Look at them saying Black Lives Matter, and they got this all on this and that. And like, it was big.
They painted Black Lives Matter on the street at the White House.
Right. Look at the way. That's the way. Like, nah, man. That shit is all for show, and it's to make more money because now they support you. So you're going to support them happily. But that was that play. We still had no plan. We had no plan of action going forward. Like, what are we gonna do? Well, they're gonna be more accountable now. That's what they were saying.
Oh, no, remember, disband the police. We're gonna disband the police. No, you fucking not.
And then what?
And then what? Fuck out of here, man. See, I'm starting to get mad now. All right.
That's what I'm saying. That like it's frustrating because if you actually just remove the emotion from the situation, that shit makes no sense. Like, what do you mean disband the police? I don't know about y'all, but if somebody come try to rob me or anything, like, I want the police to come help if I can get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want that reassurance. If I can't do it myself, you know what I'm saying? Like, we need the police in some fashion to get rid of them, because one situation is a bit extreme. So I just want to go ahead.
No, go ahead, bro.
No. I was just saying, if we really want change to happen and we're serious about it, we'll start talking about what the plan is going to be to make that happen. And that hasn't happened yet. And I don't see it happening because the only thing that we can do is come together, which we can't seem to do ever because we all on different sides of the spectrum, on different ends of the spectrum. Like some people believe this, some people believe that. We all over the place as a people. You know what I'm saying? It's very chaotic, and we can't come together to come up with a plan conducive to get those kind of results. So we're gonna keep dealing with the same shit. We're gonna be on this mouse wheel running in place and feeling like we're doing something. But I said all that to say activity does not equal productivity. And people think because they're getting active, we going out here in the streets and protesting and marching, that is productive. That's bullshit. Activity doesn't equal productivity. Productivity equals productivity. Y'all need to understand that. So that's what I got.
There you go. And I'll leave the analogy like this. Just like playing a basketball game and you don't have the ball in your hand, you just run around in a circle. About a whole basketball game going on over here. Well, I'm sweating. I went hard. You're not even focused on the game. So activity does not equal productivity. You did nothing to help nothing. You just ran around and got sweaty. So there we go. And so we're gonna end this one. We're gonna come right back up with the Kid Cudi one because we'll go all day on this because this is a very passionate thing, and we expect it. So if y'all tune in a few seconds, we're gonna come back and talk about the Kid Cudi one, the dress situation. But to the end, thank y'all for watching the Wise Guys. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We're gonna come back at you. Peace.